Hi everyone. Um, I know I don't have a complete tutorial for both the Genesis and the Star Wars rule sets for Fantasy Grounds, but today somebody asked a question, and although I did reply in text on the forums, I think this is a little bit complicated to explain in text, and I decided, well, even though I don't have a full tutorial for the moment, which I will record later, I decided to record this really quick video explaining how to use this particular feature, which I believe is kind of tricky if you don't see an explanation beforehand. So, um, there is a particular place in the character sheet, and this is both for Genesis and for Star Wars, that can be used for various purposes depending on what you want to do. I'm going to give an example here, and I'm talking about the Actions tab, this tab over here, and it can be used for uh, basically any dice rolls that you wanna do, but in particular for spells. So I'm gonna give an example for creating a spell book or some spell rolls that you have to roll multiple times, and you can actually do this for anything, for powers, or let's say you are creating your own setting and you have some psionic powers or any kind of powers your character have. But let me give you an example for a spell. Okay, so the first thing you notice is there's nothing here, and you will want to click here at the bottom on the edit list button. This is going to put your sheet into the edit mode. After that, the first thing you want to do is click add power. Okay, you immediately see that since I didn't have anything, the first thing it created is a generic powers section. And right now I have a record here that I can fill up. Okay, if you move your mouse over the fields, they're going to explain what each one of them is. But the first field here is basically a description of the power. Let's say I'm creating a fireball spell. Okay, I'm gonna call this fireball. Um, either fireball spell, fireball, whatever you want. But in this case, let's say it's fireball spell. The other field here, the name is ability group. This is the name of the group you want to create. So if I don't put anything here, it's gonna be called powers. But let's say if I name these spells, if I move my mouse to the other field, or here, for example, here, you immediately see it's called spells. So it's renamed the group over here. Now, the other field, you move your mouse, it says ability summary. And this is where you would give a complete description of this spell. So for example, I could say fireball spell damage be success plus, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, success plus 2. Uh, 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 Actually, you can give it any description you want, like you would in any powers. Like you could describe here what is the blast radius of this spell, what's the target, and etc. So this is basically where you simply describe the power. Now is the feature that I believe most people would not find out by themselves, is now you right click this spell here, right click, and you will choose add action. Okay, click add action. Right now we have two options. You have add skill roll and add effects. But click on add skill roll. Now you see there's a new line, and in this new line you have to type here in this field the skill roll you want to roll for this spell. So here, let's say this spell uses the Arcana power. You have to type the exact name of the skill. You can go back to the skills tab and let's say search for the skill you want to roll. In this case, I'm going to roll Arcana. Remember to type exactly the same name you see here in the skill. So let's go back to actions. Here I will type Arcana. You can choose the difficulty. So for example, let's say it's difficulty 2. And the last one, you will choose the range. So right now it's engaged. Let's say my spell is medium range. So click it until you see it's medium. So medium range now. And this is it for the spell. So right now I have just created my spell. So if I want, I could click add power again here at the bottom, but I would just click on stop edit, and that's it for the spell. Okay. If I go back to edit list, you will see that I have the option of either clicking on add power again at the bottom, or if I click at this green add item, it's going to be easier for me to add a new spell. So if I click add item, you immediately notice there's a new line for a new spell. So let's say I can type a heal spell. Let's say you see that it already populates the ability group with spells. So it means that I don't have to type this again. I could give it a description now. Let's say healing spell, something else. Again, right click, add action, add skill roll, and you will add the skill to roll. So let's say Arcana again. Difficulty is going to be 3. So range, let's say range is just engaged, whatever. So yeah, again, when you finish editing, just click on the edit button at the bottom. And now I have 2 lines for 2 different spells. Okay, so how does it work? Simply, if you want to roll for this fireball spell, I can simply click on this dice button. It's automatically going to add my skill roll and the difficulty at the dice pool. you can actually add more things to the roll if you want. Let's say there is some situation where it's gonna add a more difficult roll. You can do it right now, and then you simply click and roll the button, roll the dice. Sorry. So here you see the description. It says the spell description, the skill, and the range, and now I have the success. So right now, the feature is simple. You only have dice rolls, but in the future, I will add more stuff here. So maybe I can add some. If the spell is a damage spell like this, maybe I can add automatically calculate the damage and stuff like that. But for now, what this is doing is it allows you to create a spell book or a list of actions you can simply click and roll again instead of having to rely on your memory or on some other stuff. There's another thing I didn't say is for this summary, you can also, for the sake of adding a more detailed description, you can add the special characters replacement that we have in the system. For example, for Genesys, we have this table here that you can download from the same Google Drive where you download the rule sets. So if you use this replacement in the description, you can, let's say, add a more description like I don't know. For example, you can type let's say that the difficulty dice. So you can type something like this. Which will describe like, oh, this spell will be difficulty something something, or uh, damage, or let's say can describe something like or yes. So yeah, you see, you I know I'm doing a very poor example here, but you can pretty much describe what is the result for this spell here, and choose to describe however you want, and this substitution here is going to help to know what this spell is doing, you know. So yeah, I try to explain. I know, I hope this is um, useful right now. I promise in the future I will try to record more useful tutorial for the whole rule set. And what I explain here actually works for Genesis, like I'm showing here, or also for the Star Wars rule set. Yeah, you can. This tab, this action tab, is very versatile. I know it's doesn't have a lot of features, but yeah, I hope it works for you guys if you're struggling with a very long spell book or very long power list. So yeah, you could, for example, create other powers like let's say psi powers, and you see right now it automatically creates a different so mind roll. Let's say, yeah, you can add a dice roll here. Let's say this is gonna be another, say, coercion. Oh, this example is very poor. Can do coercion, coercion, social coercion. So, for example, here coercion, difficulty 3, whatever. So let's, you see, it is smart, and you can break down into sections. You could even, let's say, create damage spells instead of spells to separate into whatever group you want. So right now, you see here, it's just gonna be, let's say I'm running my power, my control power, and whatever. So yeah, so I hope this video is at least useful for you guys to create these actions tab. Okay, so yeah, thanks.